Hello everyone, especially all you young people. I would like to do a thought experiment with you. I'd like you to imagine that it's the year 2080, 60 years from now. You are in your mid-70s. You have lived a good long life so far. And your grandchildren come to visit you one day. They are in school and they're learning about the great pandemic of 2020 in their history lesson. And they ask you, "Grandad, what was it like? You were alive then. Granny, what did you do during the great pandemic?" What will you say to them? Will you be happy to say, "Yeah, it was wonderful. School finished 3 months early. And I binge watched my way through all of the content of Netflix. I played video games. And I ate myself silly. We nearly went bankrupt as a family. I ate that much." Is that really what you want to be able to say to your grandchildren? We are in the midst of a global pandemic. And it affects all of us in very many ways. And there's nothing wrong with doing a bit of binge watching of Netflix. But is that really what we want to do in the midst of this great crisis in the world? We want to numb ourselves by endlessly watching a screen, and you're watching a screen now, listening to me. What will you do with the time that God is giving you during this pandemic? How will you use it profitably? How will you use it for the glory of God? Yes, I hope you are praying more. But I hope also that you are more present to your family, not less present. I hope that you are getting up early, getting a good start in the day. Do you want to say to your grandchildren, "Yeah, I surfaced around 11 a.m., maybe midday, and then I binged watched my way through the rest of the day, and about 2 a.m. I crashed into my bed"? Let's use this time profitably. Those of you here locally in the Letterkenny area, you know that we have a net team. They could have chosen to go home. They could have chosen to be with their families, but they chose to stay and continue the mission of reaching out to you, our young people here in the Letterkenny area. They did it for you. They chose to continue the mission even though the mission is completely digital now. So I encourage you, check in with them. They have a YouTube channel, they have Instagram, they have Facebook, though I think Facebook is more the realm that your parents inhabit rather than you teenagers do. But they are on all of these social media platforms. And they want to reach out to you, and they want you to reach out to them, and they are there for you. There's one positive thing that you can do in the time that God gives you, this downtime that the world has in these weeks of the pandemic. Don't be afraid to pray more. Not just with your family, but cultivate your own personal prayer life. Be helpful. Be kind. Take up the responsibilities that are placed before you in your family home and in your family life. Live this time profitably. Do all you can to be the best you that you can be. That this time of the pandemic will be a time of great growth for you. That you'll be able to tell your grandchildren, "You know, those few months were really difficult for the world and for our family, but I grew enormously. I matured enormously in so many ways in the midst of this pandemic." God is with you. I am praying for you. I am praying for your families. Let's get busy, living our life as fully as this pandemic allows us to. We're confined to our homes and to our immediate area around our homes. But love has no borders. And so let's reach out to each other. Let's help each other. Let's connect with each other, even though we cannot do it physically in these days. So a few practical steps. Rise every morning at a regular hour and a reasonably early hour. I would say rise the time you normally would rise for school. Eat meal times with your family. Spend the time around the table with your family. Put the devices away. Turn off the screens and switch on to the people God has placed in front of you. Limit the amount of time you spend on Netflix or on social media or with regard to, I suppose, the Xbox or the PlayStations. Limit that. Have a chunk in your day where you say that's for that. And then invest in the relationships that are there in your home, with your parents, with your siblings, with whoever it is lives under the same roof as you. Pray several times a day. Begin your day with prayer, end your day with prayer, your own personal prayer, and then encourage some time of family prayer together. Reach out to the NET team. Reach out to them. Ask them questions. Befriend them. Keep contact with them. And then, most importantly of all, in your prayer, make sure and pray for those who are very isolated, who are feeling the pinch in a great way in this time of the pandemic. Those who have so many worries, so many concerns, health, finances. Maybe your parents are among those people who have those weights to bear. Pray for them and give God thanks for the little things that you have that maybe perhaps you take for granted. God bless to you all, and remember, wash your hands.